If you're uploading YouTube videos without doing these 20 things first, then you're basically throwing away views, subscribers, and money. I see creators spend hours making great content but then sabotage it by skipping the pre-upload process. So these 20 steps are what separates videos that get buried in the algorithm to those that get discovered and clicked on. So grab a pen, take notes, but if you want the free checklist, first link in the description, you can download that for free. Now let's get right into it. This is what I call the YouTube pre-upload checklist. I've been looking forward to recording this for quite a long time now. The first section is what you want to focus on first before you actually upload a YouTube video, and that's the targeting and clickability. Is it targeting someone? Is it clickable? Would people click on it? So we're gonna get into that. So the first question we're gonna ask ourselves, let me uncheck this, is this video something my target audience would actually click on? Because if it isn't, you need to scrap that immediately. That's not going to help you whatsoever. It's gonna be like a random YouTube video. Now, if it is something your target audience would click on, let's say you're targeting real estate agents and they would click on that, then that's a good post, 100%. So what you want to do is click yes. Now, what I see a lot of people do here is they have a video targeted at the wrong person. So let's use my agency, for example, a content agency. Let's say you have a coaching program for your content agency, and let's say you have a done-for-you offer such as me, and we help with the ideation, scripting, editing, thumbnails, SEO, and posting. So let's say you have that. If I were to create a video about how to build a content agency from scratch, that's not going to attract people who would want my done-for-you offer. That's going to attract people who would go into my coaching program. Now, if I were to create a video such as how to get clients through YouTube in 2025, that's going to attract people who would go into my done-for-you offer. That's what I mean by targeting the right people. Now, if you're targeting the right people, they're actually going to click on it. So that's a yes right here. Now, second question, does the topic directly address one of my ICP's problems or desires? If it doesn't, it isn't a problem for them to actually click on it, but it's a problem for them going into your offer. Because if you don't state their problems and the outcome of going into your offer with their desires, then there's no point of them going into your offer or clicking the link. They're just going to pretty much watch the video, get all the value, skip, go on to the next person who's going to throw in a CTA and get them to join their offer. So if you don't have this, then that's a problem. Let's say you don't. Third one, am I speaking to potential buyers, not randoms or non-buyers? Now, what I mean by this is pretty much the wording in what you're saying and the wording in the packaging. Now, let's say you have an offer that costs $20,000. I know it's a lot, but let's say you have an offer that high, that costs that much money. What you don't want to do is have a YouTube video titled, How to Go From 0 to 10K a Month in 2025. That's going to target the wrong person. That's going to target a broke person. What you want to do is have a video targeted such as how to go from, let's say someone would buy into your offer who's like at 50K a month. That's like about almost half of what they're earning every single month, but hey, it is what it is. You'd want to create a video saying how to go from 50K to 100K plus every single month in 2025. That's a video that would get potential buyers because the broke people aren't going to buy your 20K offer. Let's say you do have this. Fourth one. Is the title written from my ICP's perspective? Something they'd search/click. Now, this is good for SEO. And if you have like hashtag knowledge, what you want to do in hashtags is have long tail keywords, so like a keyword such as how to, and then specific in 2025. And that would pretty much rank really high, and that would do really well because people are actually searching that stuff up. So long tail keywords are basically specific keywords. But what I actually mean by this video being something that they'd search/click on is if they actually search something up, if they search up a question, would your video pop up number one? For example, how to feed my cat X food product. That's going to be very specific, and someone can upload a video with that specific title, and that's going to rank number one or at least like top 10, 100%, because it's so specific and it's something that your ICP is searching up if you're targeting cat owners. Now, let's say you do have this. Next, does this thumbnail clearly stand out and catch your ICP's attention? I'm not going to go too in depth with this, but you need to ask yourself this. As you know, TikTok brain is a real thing. So if you have a thumbnail that will clearly stand out, like it'll stop their scroll, then 100% that's going to be a good thing for you. Now, next one, are keywords related to your target market? Research and included naturally in the title/description. You don't have to go too in depth with this. I do this at my YouTube content agency for my clients. For example, me, I would post something about how to get clients through YouTube in 2025. YouTube, clients, 2025. Those are keywords. I would put those in the title. I would put those in the description. I would put those in the hashtags. You want to put those everywhere in the video. And this is just mainly for SEO. Just make sure you're doing this. And I'm not going to go too in depth with this. So let's say you're not doing this. Next one, is my video file name the same as my YouTube title? Now this one's super interesting. So I'm actually going to head over to my YouTube analytics. I do this sometimes. I don't do it all the time. But what you want to do is obviously have the file name the same as the YouTube title. Now, I'm not sure why, but I think YouTube actually looks into the file name a little bit. Like if the file name is the same as the title, I think you're going to rank a little bit better for that actual video. For some reason, it just works for SEO. So just make sure you're doing that. Make sure it's the exact same. And of course, well, I'm not going to get into this, but make sure your title is in the description within the first 150 characters, I believe. I believe that's where it should be. Next, did I upload as private/unlisted first and waited 2 to 24 hours before publishing? This is good because YouTube actually checks your video, believe it or not. They're going to actually check your video, and as soon as you publish a video, let's say you publish it at the peak time of your target audience, your video is not going to be pushed as much because YouTube likes to check the videos and actually analyze it, but even if they're like private or unlisted, because that way they can make sure their platform is safe, etc. They always want to make sure of that. So that's something you always want to do. And a lot of people aren't doing this. A lot of people don't even know about this, but now you have this checklist, you know about this. Now, on to section 2. Let me bring this down a little bit. Section 2, retention and engagement. This is important because if no one's watching your video, but they're clicking on it, then there's obviously a gap there. And this section 2 is going to help you out. First, does the hook in the first 30 seconds explain who it's for and why they should watch? You want to think of the first 30 seconds as pretty much you qualifying the person on the other side of the screen. If you're a financial advisor looking for X, then this video is for you. That's calling out an ICP, that's calling out financial advisors. Now, if you're saying something like, if you like finance, if you like money and you're watching this video, it's for you. Well, it would suck if you had an offer because you might not get the people you want watching. Anyhow, that's what you want to do. Call your ICP and make sure you explain who it's for and why they should watch the video. I call this the what, why, how framework. Some people say why, what, how. Either way, it doesn't matter. Just explain what you're going to be talking about, why it's important, and how they're going to actually benefit from this video. Next one, does this video solve one specific problem clearly? Of course, you don't want to be solving 10 different problems. I used to do this in my content, solving a bunch of different problems. It doesn't work. Just focus on one specific problem, answer that clearly. That way you can actually get the viewer to the next video without them being confused. Too many problems being solved in one video is going to confuse them with what you're actually talking about. Let's say you're not doing that one. Third one, am I giving enough value so the viewer walks away having learned something real? And this is important. So what I would usually say here is, would someone pay $100 for this video? Maybe that's a low amount, but would someone pay for the video that you're posting? Because if not, then it's probably not that valuable. You want to make sure every single video you're posting is valuable. And I'm not saying quality over quantity, because obviously quantity on YouTube is good, at least once per week. But just make sure you're not posting a bunch of fluff content. Just get straight to the value, like how I did in this video. As soon as the intro ended, I got straight into the juice. I didn't talk about myself. I didn't say, oh, I was born in this state and I'm in a different country. I didn't explain that, especially because my audience is B2B. So let's see you're doing this. Next one, does this story, if applicable, connect emotionally? Does it go from dark times to transformation? This is how you want to get your audience emotionally attached. Let's say you have a video talking about starting from 0 to going to where you are right now. This is going to be super helpful, especially for clients, because people are going to know, like, and trust you a lot more. And that's obviously important for business nowadays in 2025. If they don't know, like, and trust you, then you're not going to see them in your offer at all. And it's not a bad thing to talk about your transformation all the time either, because that's how a lot of people actually remember you. If you recall a lot of famous YouTubers, a lot of people know them because of their backstory and where they are now. But they know them because of the progress that they've made. So that's a good thing, actually. You want to understand someone's dark times and transformation, and you want the viewer to understand yours as well. Is the pacing engaging, not too slow/monotone? Now, this really depends on the audience. If your audience is older, what you want to do is have a slower kind of video, because they need to actually digest the information. You need to have professional edits, not too many edits, not too many TikTok edits. Just make it clean, make it slow a little bit. But if you have a young audience, what you want to do is talk faster. What you want to do is have TikTok style edits. What you want to do is not to be monotone, not be slow. They're going to click off. Remember, TikTok brain is still here, and it's getting worse every day. So let's say you're doing this. Next one, are visuals, edits, B-roll, text, enhancing clarity and not distracting? Obviously, you don't want the edits distracting your audience too much. If they just see a bunch of editing but no value, no matter how cool the edits are, so many people have good edits, they're going to click off the video. They need the value, they need the solution to their problem, and that's why they're on YouTube. Am I using end screen elements or cards to boost algorithm signals? Now, as you know with YouTube, if someone watches your video and goes on to another video, or maybe even another one of your videos, YouTube is going to count that as them staying on the platform after watching your video. They're going to associate their stay with you, and that way your video is going to be boosted on the algorithm. YouTube's going to like you a lot more because the person on the platform is staying longer because of your video. Hence why long videos that are very well edited and very well scripted do very well on YouTube, because they stay on the algorithm a lot longer. And if you funnel that to another long video and it does well, then YouTube's gonna honestly love you forever. Now, you can do this for short videos as well, funnel those to long videos. You see even Gaji do this with even like short regular videos. He still funnels them to the VSL, which is a bit longer than his average video. And finally, section 3, let's get to it. Section 3, conversion and next steps. We're going to go through this really quickly. So do I have 1 to 2 clear CTAs, book a call, download resource, join newsletter? If you don't have a CTA in your video, then they're not going to go into your offer. They're not going to know how you can help them and what you're even doing on the video. They're just going to think you're giving them a solution and then they're just going to click off, never see you ever again. What you want to do is have an intermission. So at the 1/3 mark of your video, have a quick intermission. Hey guys, by the way, I offer this. If you're X, then click the link below. You want to have that pretty early on, just so you get those people who click off early. And even if they watch the whole video, they can be hit with your CTA 2 times, meaning it only increases the chances of them going to your offer. And at the end of the video, of course, in the outro, you want to hit them with the CTA. Does the CTA feel like the next logical step based on the video's content? You want to make sure the CTA actually matches to what you're talking about in the video. If you're talking about cooking in the video, but you have a CTA for SMMA, well, it's not going to correlate. Your audience just not going to go in your offer at all. They're just going to be confused. Are my 2 most important links within the first 3 lines of the description? This is really interesting actually. So if you can see in my previous video, I have my most important links within the first 3 lines. And this is because when they click on a video, you don't want them to click on more. What you want them to do is see the first 2 links right here so that they don't have to go and press more, so that you don't add friction, so that they can just do it from here. Because if they click more, then it's going to add more friction. They don't really want to do as much. Always have your 2 most important links, or even 3, within the first 3 lines, and make sure it's visible. As you can see, my first 2 links were visible, my free trainings and working with my agency, which if you want to, of course, we do everything done for you. You can click the second link below. Did I reference case studies, testimonials, or results to build credibility? You want to just kind of sprinkle this throughout the video, just so your audience knows that you're actually someone who can actually get results for people, because if they don't, then they're not going to see you as an authority in the space. It's pretty simple. If they don't see that you can get the results, they're not going to trust you or see you as an authority, and you're not going to be that go-to expert in your niche. Does this video naturally lead the viewer from free value to offer to conversion? So you don't want to pretty much go from giving value straight to the conversion. What you want to do is go from the value, slowly go into your offer a little bit, and then slowly go into the conversion. That way it's natural and it doesn't feel like a hard pitch, and make it smooth. And I've been clicking yes and no because down here it actually updates. So you can see it's pretty much updating, and you can use this for yourself with the first link in the description. And of course, if you want to book 10 to 30 plus qualified calls inbound, by the way, from YouTube in the next 90 days, you can click here in the actual document or click the second link below to book a call with me. We handle the full YouTube process: ideation, scripting, editing, thumbnails, SEO, and posting. So you record 2 hours per month. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.